Hey everybody, it's your friend Joe from the state of Kansas. No filter, no funny jokes today. Today I wanted to come up and see the United States War Memorial here in beautiful Topeka, Kansas at lovely Gage Park. And I gotta say, I'm absolutely blown away by it. Walking in, if you head to your left, the first thing you see right here, Freedom's flag. What a powerful thing to say. Written by Charles Michael Province, the U.S. Army. I'm going to read it to you real fast. Freedom's flag. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to demonstrate. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves under the flag, and whose coffin is draped in the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. If we take a walk around here, you can see all of the men and women who died bravely in the somewhat forgotten about war, the Korean War. What a terrible time. Korean War, 1950 to 1953. We'll get into the actual history of those at a different time. I love how they did this in honor of our fathers and uncles to serve their country in time of war. So somebody who lost their father or somebody who lost their uncle can come up here and sit down and think about them for a while. That's amazing. Home of the brave. I can't think of any more truer thing than that. Look, guys, we have our own problems in this country. Of course we do. But there's one thing you cannot take away from it. We do have it better than anybody else. The Pacific Theater, oh man. A little bit of World War II trivia. Supreme Allied Commander Dwight D. Eisenhower, future President of the United States, from Kansas. I love this quote from him. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark on the Great Crusade, toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty, loving people everywhere, march with you. Those are the words he said to the soldiers in a communication that went out before D-Day, because he knew so many of them wouldn't see the following day. So many brave young men and women who one day their worst concern was whether or not Betty Sue was going to say yes to at the high school dance, or if Dad's going to make him mow the east field again. Before they knew it, they're in an amphibious assault vehicle on the other side of the world, where they didn't speak the language, they didn't understand the customs, helping out an enslaved people under the terrible, terrible fascism of the Nazis. I'm going to go back over here, the European theater. You can see how the juggernaut that was Germany basically took over all that. Stop right here by the Battle of Britain, where one island nation underneath Winston Churchill stood up and said, "This will be our finest hour," and man, they sure did, didn't they? How they went all around to the different countries there, liberating people, denazifying countries. It's just amazing what we did. Guys, I came up here. Oh, one last thing I do want to show. This right here. I find this statue so moving. So many young men and women never made it back from our conflicts overseas. And the reason I was inspired to come here today, I read an article recently that each and every day in the United States of America, 22 men and women commit suicide that were members of the armed forces. 22. I mean, even one is too many. Guys, they deserve so much more than we give them. They deserve more than a day a year to where they get 10% off at Starbucks, or are just absolute abomination of a VA system. They deserve to know that there are people out there that they can reach out to, that they can talk to, if they need help. It is okay to say, I'm not good, I need help. Most everybody has a veteran that works in their building. Most everybody knows somebody who served. Or even if you don't, you see a guy walking through the grocery store and he's got his service branch on his hat. There is nothing wrong with making eye contact, saying thank you. Thank you for what you did. You know, even if you can tell and you make friends with a veteran and you let them know that you're there to talk, one of the best things you can do is listen. Because you and I, folks who have not done what they've done, we don't know what they've gone through. We don't know, we haven't seen the things they've seen. We haven't had to see the horribleness that they've seen and had to deal and compound all these things. What you can do, though, is you can listen. And that is one of the most powerful things that you can do for somebody is listen. When you're listening to somebody, they're getting to make what's on their mind audible. They're getting to get it out, get it off of their chest. And sometimes just the chance to vocalize what's going on in your mind, that's better than any therapy you can possibly get. Now, there's also things you can do as well. You know, there are VFW clubs to where our veterans can get together with like-minded folks. There's ways you can support them. They have bingo nights, they have fundraisers, they have drives. Those aren't just so people can get together and get a cheap beer. Those are so the men and women who gave everything to us. So dorks like me can stand in the middle of a beautiful memorial on a windy day and make a video to have and live the lives we lead. Please, can we do something better for our veterans? I'm going to leave you guys today with the words of Ronald Reagan. I think he said it better than any other person. This isn't a right video, this isn't a left video. This is just a video about what we need to do better of, and that's take care of our veterans.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.